Hey everyone, I'm Jessica. Today we're checking out Freedom Planet, a game developed by independent game studio GalaxyTrail. Freedom Planet is a 2D combat-based platform adventure game centered around a dragon girl Lilac and her friend's mission to stop an intergalactic threat that's disturbing the peace on their planet. Freedom Planet took inspiration from Sonic the Hedgehog and various other classic 2D platformers, and by adding their own flair and content, turned it into something fresh and exciting. I've been looking forward to playing this for a while. The lively graphics and unique combat system really attracted me to this game. Freedom Planet is actually the first game developed by GalaxyTrail, and I'll be checking out the Wii U version for this review. So let's see how they did. Freedom Planet takes place on the world of Avalice, home of three kingdoms, Shangtu, Shangmu, and Shuigang. An intergalactic warlord, Lord Brevin, crash lands on Avalice and plots to steal the Kingdom Stone, which provides energy to the three kingdoms. Lord Brevin's not your typical goofy antagonist like you see in many games of this genre. He's pretty intimidating and means serious business. Brevin invades Shuigang and right off the bat murders the king, then proceeds to brainwash his son Prince Dale in order to gain control of Shuigang, operating from behind the scenes in an attempt to create conflict and disorder, disrupting the peace between the three kingdoms. 3 days after Lord Brevin crash lands on Avalice, a chaser named Torque, whose goal is to stop Brevin, is shot down by Brevin's army. A dragon girl named Sash Lilac witnesses a plane crash and dashes off to help. Shortly after, Lilac's joined by her best friend Carol T, a wildcat, and a shy and innocent orphan Mila Bassett, a hound, together along with Torque, a
Shelduck.
Thanks, Torque. They must defeat Lord Brevin in order to protect the inhabitants of Avalice and save their planet's energy source. I have to commend GalaxyTrail on the effort they put into the story of Freedom Planet, with full voice acting and animated cutscenes, as well as many characters having their own backstory, but it can be a little more complex than it needs to be. From the opening sequence, we see that Lord Brevin has invaded and taken over Shuigang. Then when you start the game, you see him crash landing on Avalice. Torque claims that Brevin is after the Kingdom Stone, and with it could double the size of his army, while later we find out that Brevin needs the Kingdom Stone to power his spaceship the Dreadnought to leave the planet. I'm not sure why GalaxyTrail didn't just have him land on Avalice, with the goal already in mind of stealing the Kingdom Stone, to increase the size of his army to continue his conquest and protect his homeworld. It would have given him a clear motive and purpose, while still maintaining the depth of the story. We also meet a mysterious character named Spade, who was in the same group as Lilac and Carol the Red Scarves, and is another son of the King of Shuigang, but we don't learn much about his backstory, basically just filling the role as the edgy bad guy, sometimes good guy. The story is filled with lighthearted moments and knows when to take itself seriously, overall doing a pretty good job of staying entertaining, even with some of the cutscenes being rather long. Something I have to commend is that during cutscenes while one character is speaking, if their dialogue continues on past the first speech bubble, they will continue talking rather than stopping until you go to the next speech bubble. This is a very small detail, but creates a smooth dialogue that's easy to listen to. The entire story cultivates the build up to the final fight with Lord Brevin, and is something I love about this game. I'm gonna go into this in a little more detail later in the video, so just keep this in the back of your mind for now. Everything about Freedom Planet's presentation is phenomenal. Characters are well designed with their movement and attack animations being fluid, down to the expressions on their face just during the gameplay alone. Terrain and backgrounds are vibrant and full of color. They're really stunning to look at. Jade Creek is a wonderful example of the feeling levels can create. The music in Freedom Planet is full of life, providing an extra level of energy to the game. Whether you play the game or not, I definitely have to recommend the soundtrack. It's just that good. There is a huge variety in the enemies in this game. Every level features something new graphically. Freedom Planet does all the little things to keep the game visually stimulating. Just jumping onto a ladder not touching a wall from the side will cause the character to do a graceful little spin around it, quick enough where it doesn't hurt the pace in the slightest, but noticeable enough to go, oh, that was cool. GalaxyTrail didn't take any shortcuts in regards to design. You really have to appreciate the work they put into this. For an indie company's first game, it's just amazing. For any company, this would be amazing, first game or not. There are two ways of playing Freedom Planet, through Adventure Mode, which mixes story and cutscenes along with gameplay, or Classic Mode, allowing you to progress directly from stage to stage. There are 4 difficulties: Casual, Easy, Normal, and Hard. In my opinion, you should certainly play through Adventure Mode at least once to get the most out of Freedom Planet. By passing levels, you unlock them in Time Attack Mode if you ever want to revisit a specific stage. You can choose to play as Lilac, Carol, or Mila. Lilac can whip enemies with her hair strands. By holding up and attacking, she can perform a Shoryuken. Fun fact, the kanji for Shoryuken translates to Rising Dragon Fist. While in the air, she can perform a dropkick. Using part of her special meter, she can execute a cyclone attack, acting as a double jump, and is great for hitting enemies multiple times. When Lilac's energy meter is fully charged, she can perform a Dragon Dash, giving her a short burst of speed, making her temporarily invincible and doing damage on contact. She can shoot herself in 6 different directions, but not directly up or down. Carol's more of a brawler type than Lilac. Her claw swipes are faster than Lilac's hair whips, and her special is a wild kick. hitting enemies multiple times and making her invincible while using it. She can also roll into a ball and has the ability to wall jump, making her good for exploring different areas of the map. Carol doesn't have access to a double jump unless she has her motorcycle power up, but rather has a pounce. It can be nice on occasion, but I didn't find it extremely useful. When Carol gets her motorcycle power up by picking up a fuel canister, it's when her gameplay really picks up. She gains a corkscrew-like double jump, can drive up walls, and can boost her speed. Mila's a high skill cap character that's good for exploring and finding collectibles. Mila's main attack is a shield that can be aimed in 6 directions, able to block most projectiles, and can be used to fire a small energy burst. She can summon and throw blocks, and can turn her blocks into a super shield that creates a large energy blast when fired. Mila can perform a flutter jump, gaining pretty significant height. She can pick up and throw items, and is able to dig in the dirt for items and treasure. Mila's the definition of a glass cannon. Her super energy blast does a lot of damage, but she has less health than the other characters. Mila's energy blast causes recoil that can be used to reach higher heights and produce a boost of speed. The timing felt a little tight, and I wasn't able to perform it consistently enough to match up to my preferred playstyle. Lilac is my personal favorite. There's so much variety in her kit, and all her abilities complement each other really well. The pacing and flow to stages in Freedom Planet is amazing. Stages offer multiple pathways and platforming never gets too precise to be frustrating, but has enough complexities to make it engaging. Freedom Planet consistently maintains a high level of energy throughout the entire game, using a few different mechanics. For one, abilities create multiple ways of attacking different platforming segments. You have a health bar in the form of petals, meaning you don't have to avoid all damage in order to keep moving. Oh, and spikes aren't an instant kill. Shields can be found and provide different benefits depending on the element. Freedom Planet also doesn't feature touch damage from enemies. They need to actively attack you to do damage, and it's incredible how much this benefits the pacing of the game. You don't need to know the exact placement of an enemy in order to sustain the flow of a level, even on your first playthrough. Not only that, but levels also feature different gimmicks. Nothing invasive, but constantly creates a fresh and exciting experience. Just take the stage Pango Lagoon for example. Large blue rings are featured in the level that gives Lilac an additional stack of energy, allowing her to Dragon Dash twice in a row. It just blew my mind performing the Dragon Dash multiple times. It allowed GalaxyTrail to make even more intricate level design. Also, later in the level there's bow and arrows that you can jump onto, smashing walls you crash into. Did this need to be included? Probably not. But was it really cool? You bet! All of this leads up to a really intense boss battle. Boss battles are just as good as the rest of the game. They're high energy and keep you on your toes, making you pay attention to different patterns and attacks. Just as you can hit them multiple times with one attack or a combination of attacks, they can do the same to you, and just adds to the intensity of the battle. A lot of games can get stale the more you play them, but Freedom Planet just made me want to play more and more the farther I progressed, even after my initial playthrough. There's a ton of replayability with 3 characters to choose from, collectibles to find, and multiple pathways in each level. By holding down and pressing X to continue dialogue during cutscenes, you can also find outtakes and bloopers.
Carol, you stupid furball! Go take your flea bath some other time! I gotta go check out those civilians, because we won't be able to get through the plot if I don't!
The build up to the final showdown with Lord Brevin is something I loved about the story, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, feel free to pause the video and skip to the ending here. If not, let's get to it. The game starts with Lord Brevin beheading the king of Shuigong with one quick slice. Later we see him execute the same move against a group of warriors that managed to infiltrate Shuigong, decapitating the last warrior. While Brevin's moments can be pretty dark and gruesome, there's a lot of cheerful moments and humor that occurs between Lilac and her friends. Despite the dire situation, they're just kids, and look at this like part of an adventure. It's not until Torque gets captured by Lord Brevin that the severity of the situation hits them. When Lilac comes into direct contact with Brevin, it's the first time we really see her experience fear due to a threat, even just for a second. Lilac dragon rushes at Lord Brevin, and he uses that devastating slash, countering Lilac's attack, leading to her capture. You have to keep in mind that the entire game up until this point, you've been using Lilac's dragon rush, making her invulnerable and never losing momentum. This scene proves just how powerful and dangerous Lord Brevin really is. Before the final encounter with Brevin on the Dreadnought, he hurts Mila, throwing Lilac into a rage. This to me is the turning point, overwhelming Lilac, giving her the power she needs to protect her friends and stop Brevin. The fight with Lord Brevin is a 3-part fight. You have to defeat him in the Absolution and his power suit. Unlike many games where a boss gets bigger in size using a mecha evolution to appear more intimidating and powerful, Brevin's final form is none other than himself in his truest form. Lord Brevin is absolutely ruthless. You get to experience his knife slash firsthand, taking chunks of your health if you're unable to dodge it. The fight is incredibly tough, but I wouldn't have it any other way because that final finish is just so satisfying to watch. Freedom Planet is such a well-made game. I didn't expect to enjoy myself as much as I did, and I seriously just wanted to keep playing. It does such a good job of getting so many little things right. I highly recommend Freedom Planet to anyone looking for a solid 2D platformer. And don't forget to check out the soundtrack. Freedom Planet 2 is currently in the works, so make sure to give GalaxyTrail support so they can produce another amazing game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and take it easy.